Hello, we are here in Copernicus Science Center. I'm with Hubert Anyzewski, the CEO of uselab.
Hi everyone.
We are at the 7th edition of UX Poland here.
Exactly.
And I would like to talk for a moment with Hubert about why we're here, what is important, and his experience with the Human Experience conference over the years. And Hubert, the main topic of this edition is responsibility in design. And
That's true.
It's not something you come across very often, and definitely it's subject interesting and raising eyebrows. Could you tell us more?
Yeah, sure. First of all, we like to think about this topic because we choose every year one topic to open a discussion around this subject, and this year we choose, as you mentioned, responsibility in design. In our opinion, our market is increasing, our community is growing, and this is a good opportunity to stop for a moment and to think about the responsibility of designers' work, but from the other hand, the impact which companies and organizations got making the products and building the services, impact on the community, impact on humans' life, because as we all know, the digital transformation is connected with having, for example, mobile devices all the time in all our even private sectors of our lives. So this impact of digital products and services is much more higher than it was a few years ago. So we would like to talk about the responsibility of designers. I mean the responsibility of the decisions which designers are making. From the other hand, impact, organization impact, where they are providing, managing services and products, the impact on social life, our lives and communities, and making good, because we see this trend, this way of thinking that people want to spend more private time to help non-profit organizations and to get involved in helping solving social problems by using design thinking and design approach.
Mm-hmm. So our daily toolbox used for not necessarily business purpose.
Exactly.
Okay.
We have many cases around the world about this approach. It's not so popular in Poland, but for example, Jason Ulaszek, who is co-founder of UX for Good, is managing the projects around the world in Africa, but also in Europe and in United States as well, to use the tools, the canvases, the methodology which designers are using during the day, helping companies earning more money. They use the same tools, the same methodology to solve the social problems. And we have a lot of social problems, and this digital changing world give us more opportunities and more social problems to solve.
Okay, so you're telling me there are cases where something can be well designed but at the same time cause more problems?
Yeah, and I think that we have much more products and services which stick with us. I mean, we are all the time we are online. We are all the time in digital world, and this is something new for us. I mean, for a humanity, because this is a new approach, the new way of living, and with this digital change, we have new digital problems and new social problems, and we build those products and those problems probably by ourselves, so we need to solve them by ourselves. I'm not telling that this product or the other is a good one or got a good or bad influence. It's just influencing. Yeah, we are We are living in a world which is changing, and we need to think about those changes and about the problems, and use our knowledge and wisdom and methodology of design thinking to solve the new problems which we can see.
Okay, the world is changing. What main trends would you name? What things you find most important that appear on our scene, in our community, in our society, that drive us in new directions?
I'm really excited about our times. It's really so many things are going on the same page in the same time, and it's very interesting time. At the moment, I think that probably the new trends, the new gadgets, the new devices which are driving us and are very popular and sexy at the moment will be virtual reality, VR. And I'm thinking about the software, the solutions, but also about the hardware. And it's something new. It's new device, it's new channel of communication and consuming media. So it's very, very interesting. Probably it will be the second really large boom for that. I mean, it could be a bubble, because after the mobile devices and mobile channel, we can see something like that. It's virtual reality, and it's really, really something. From the other hand, we have this smart houses and Internet of Things. I mean, we are not talking only about the laptops, the computers, and the device in the old way of thinking of them, but right now, Internet of Things show us that you can have a smart, connected to the web house, car, washing machine, watch, or whatever you want, even a sweater or a blouse. So, so it's a very interesting time to design those things and to think how we can use this technology and those opportunities to make our life better, and to use humanity in the better way, or to earn money.
Okay. Hopefully without a conflict between two of those.
Yep.
Tell me, you named few things. You mentioned wearables. You mentioned virtual reality. I wonder. You have years and years of design experience and expertise recognized by quite a few institutions.
Yeah.
And when you look at those new gadgets, these new flashy things that right now they are making tech geeks very excited.
Yeah.
When you look through perspective of a designer, of someone who puts those items into working solutions, into the future, what do you think will have greatest impact?
It's really hard at the moment to point something specifically. I mean, the one product or one device. I like this approach of thinking about ecosystems and about not thinking only about the smartwatch, for example, but about thinking about the whole ecosystem when you build services or products. How we can use, for example, this gadget, for example, smartwatch, to increase our satisfaction of using the specific service or a product. Because when we design, at the moment we have this approach of ecosystems and omnichannel solutions. So we are not only talking about making an app for a smartwatch or for a mobile phone, but we are building whole ecosystems. And I think this interaction between the touch points and between the channels, between devices, you can put it in that way, between devices, different devices, in my opinion, is the most interesting thing, because it's something new. In the past 10 years, we hadn't opportunity to design so complicated ecosystems. You just focus on a one touch point or on a channel or two channels, but right now it's growing so much and it's going to be much more confused. But from the other hand, the point of view of the designer, I think this is very interesting.
Okay. I'm looking at people from very different places in the world.
Yep.
Like, we gather really broad spectrum of perspectives at UX Poland here, and people from LA, and people from China, and people from European hubs of innovation, of development, of experience. Do you think there will be differences? Like, are we looking the same direction and going the same direction, or are we dancing to different tunes? And maybe, for example, people in Shanghai are thinking about something different than us here or States. Would you say that there are regional differences in our?
I'm happy that you mentioned that, because this is the major idea of UX Poland. I mean, we try to compare the perspectives from the guests around the world and try to figure out, discuss about differences or maybe no differences in approaches and the way of working and thinking about the design. In my opinion, there are no differences, and we are going to the same direction. I mean, we can think sometimes in a different way. We can have some different ideas how to solve the problems or build solutions or devices or applications and so on. But we use the same methodology, we use the same tools, and I think we focus on the same subjects, topics, and it's really the global, we live in a global village. I mean, we use the same products, we read the same books, and we really represent the similar approach. And I'm really happy about that, because this is the 7th edition of UX Poland, and it wasn't like that in the years before. I mean, in the first years there were some differences between the markets and about the experiences that we present. But for, I don't know, maybe few years, maybe 3 years, something like that, those differences are so little. I mean, we think in the same way, we work in the same way, we focus on the same things, we like the same products, we read the same articles, and so on and so on.
Okay.
So it's really nice.
And do we at the same time get similar recognition from the market? Would you say that in Poland, for example, we have similar demand and similar understanding of UX needs that are in, let's say, Italian or American market?
No, we don't. I mean, there are differences between the markets, and the differences are based on budgets and about the knowledge on the client side. Maybe there are some also differences in a way of working. I mean, the clients, the companies from our market, I mean the Central European market, when we compare it to the US market, they work in a different way somehow, and they have a different point of view, but it's changing in a good way. And we are trying to change it in a good way. So specialists, I think they are on the same page as our colleagues from California, for example. But of course the market are in a different point.
We have more convincing to do.
Yeah, but there is this majority model, UX, for example, UX majority model, when you have few levels of majority of your clients, companies, or industry. We are probably, our market is not so, not on the highest level of this majority model, but we are going in a good way. So it's changing in a good way.
Okay, so over those years that you're hosting UX Poland, you could point to your finger and say that we got to a higher level from.
I don't want to point anyone, but generally yes. I think we can say that after seven edition, which we are providing 7 years in a row, we can say that it's going a good way, in a good, going to the good point. I mean, we are changing our market, and industry is changing in a good way, and there are a lot of great companies with not such a small budgets trying to design and produce product and services in a proper way. Of course, this is not a California, yes, but I think that Europe has a very large potential, and from our business perspective, for example, it's even more interesting to work with UK, Great Britain, or Irish market, or Scandinavian countries than to visit US, because very innovative products and solutions are building and providing in Europe. So it's a very interesting time for Europe.
Okay, you said budgets, you said clients. Like when you sit down with a procurement or CEO or the face of the client to you, and you're talking about particular concept of UX improvement, what would be the key values that you would use to convince them that it's worth investing in the experience more than, for example, I don't know, TV spots or billboards?
Mostly we focus on Polish market, on every market. We focus on the revenue, and from the product. But I think that in Poland we focus on the revenue in a short perspective. The difference is that in the other countries, companies can invest more money and wait for a longer time to have a larger revenue. And in Poland, in Central Europe, we need to have a revenue right now. And this, of course, this is quite natural because we don't have so big budgets as probably I've got companies in US, but we have also a large companies in Europe, so it's really increasing and going to the right direction. So, but the most issue probably will be the revenue in a short time. So the managers need to show the spectacular revenue in a short time, and sometimes you need to wait for a second to let something grow. Yeah.
But we do provide hard increases and particular.
I think so because in the past the Polish market and Central European market was a place where you can buy, for example, IT solutions for lower prices, and we were the district of the Europe when you have really intelligent and wisdom people, but the companies were buying those skills mostly on the tech phase to have just an IT solutions. But from few years we can see that design is also made in Poland, and right now it's not a problem to build the whole product in Poland and to take this product and use it abroad or sell it abroad. Or companies abroad are investing to build products for abroad markets in Poland. So I think it's a good situation.
Okay. The UX Poland is just beginning, but tell me, what is the thing you are looking forward to the most? What person, what lecture? Is there something you're particularly excited about?
I'm excited about the whole event as an organizer, but I really there are few talks I really waiting for. I'm waiting for a Kendra talk. This is the first talk. Kendra Shimal is our keynote. She's from Cooper.com, and from me, this is the iconic company and iconic momentum. You can put it in that way, because last year we had opportunity to invite the guests from IDEO and to work with IDEO. This is also an iconic company for me. This year we had opportunity to invite the managing director from Cooper, and this organization was very important in my life, and I really like to see the talk which Kendra is going to show us. From the other hand, there is a very interesting talk, for example, from Jason Ulaszek from Chicago. He's from Chicago, and he's designer. He's a founder of the digital agency, but also he's working with designers all over the world in the non-profit organization UX for Good, which I mentioned before. So it could be also very interesting talk. I also always wait for call for papers talks, because they are surprises, because you never know the person, and it's always something new, and it's good to see also Polish people, Polish projects, and Polish talks on UX Poland. So we have 16 talks from people from Shanghai. Franco, who is also our keynote. Franco Peruzzi is from right now he's working in Shanghai in Frog Design, and he's a creative director. He's a really awesome designer as well. So it's really hard to pick one talk and to pick one person, but I think that's the biggest value from UX Poland, that in 2 days you can meet with people from Shanghai to New York or to California and see 16 different talks with 16 different people, and see the different approaches.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And stay tuned for more UX Poland materials. We will be with you with another speakers, and thank you very much.